Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Siren Frost. Now, before we get into the video, I just wanted to say that I did say last week that this was going to be my last video, or last week was going to be my last video, because of some recent events that have been happening, and it's going to make me a little busy for a while. However, luckily for me, I'm able to do a deck profile video for you guys for this week. And this has been a long time coming, because this deck, I'm proud to say that I finally completed and finally got done after, what, a year and a half or so? This is the Faded One of Taboo, Zorga Nadir. Yes, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time, so now I can finally collect all 7 Faded One decks, and that's kind of the end of the series right there. But now I'm going to be honest with you guys, Zorga Nadir is a pain in the ass deck to get a hold of, because a lot of people lately were selling Zorga for like maybe $3 or $6 at a time. Luckily, it got down a little bit, and luckily people had a lot of spares for me to use, so I felt a lot happier to finally get this deck up and running. Now, the deck has changed a lot with a whole new ride line and some familiar cards that are a kind of a mix of now set 2, set 4, I think set 5, and then some of the mix of the older cards from like the past Zorgas and all this stuff. So in this one, Masanori became one of the owners of the Faded One. He entered the Faded Clash, he lost, and you know, he did his thing. And he's still mischievous, but not as mischievous as it used to be. In fact, he became more of an ally over time. So, I'm not sure that's good or bad. And next you know, in Season 2 of Vanguard Destined Showdown, he became once again part of Destined Showdown. He fought against Jinki Mukai. Once again, he lost. And it wasn't really about the fact. I think he threw that match on purpose so he can talk to Jinki. Because, you know, Jinki is Jinki. And I guess he knew about Sibyl's corruption a while back. So I guess Masanori is not as stupid as we all kind of thought he is. In fact, he's the most sneakiest little bastard ever possible. And this deck just kind of proves it a little bit. So, after the Destined Showdown, Masanori has been working with Jinki for a while ever since, trying to find the next deluxe players for the deluxe. And I don't think he entered. I think the last time we did kind of saw him, he was interacting with Jinki, and then he interacted with Sazune. And yeah. So that's a small quick backstory, just want to say. And then the playstyle for this deck is still relying on Alchemagic, but it relies more on the Zorga support, I think, and with Divine Skill. Now, there's a lot of cards in here I could have used from the set 4 collection for Zorga, but over time the new stuff came out and you can still use some of the older cards and get that shit up and running. So here's the build that we're going to be using. Let's just jump into the action here. So for the ride deck, we are using the Energy Generator, of course. That's the 5th card for the ride deck. Then we have Disastrous Slurper. This came actually in the Stoicheia Cristiano's trial deck. And it still counts as technically a generic, not generic, but a generic grade 0 for the lineup for Cristianos and for Zorga Nadir. But this one is for Zorga. Sorry guys, a little disclaimer. If I start to cough a little bit and sound kind of raspy, I'm still currently sick right now. So, try and get over a cold. Now for grade 1, we also have Abyss Fishing. When this unit is rolled upon by Split the Preordained, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 unit card and up to 1 normal order each from among them. Reveal them, put the revealed normal order into him. Discard the revealed unit card and shuffle the deck. So this will help you get more of the units back in the graveyard, as we should, because Ground Blue relies on the drop zone very heavily. This is a similarity to that of, you know, Ground Blue. The grade 2 we have is Split the Preordained. When this unit is rolled upon by a unit with Zorga in its card name, and Divine Skill, actually, So it has to be the Divine Skill version of Zorga. Choose up to one normal order from your drop and put it into your hand. If you played an order this turn, this unit gets 5,000 power. Now, you have the option of playing 3 more copies of this guy, play a full playset, max it out, to use that secondary ability if you really want to. But there is a better build. I think it could be a better option. So, just saying. Now, finally, we have the boss himself, Fated One of Taboo, Zorga Nadir. When you would play a normal order, you can choose a normal order with a different card name from your bind zone and Alchemagic. Oh, from your bind zone. Lovely. Energy Blast 2 for the active skill. It's a 1 turn only. And bind a normal order from drop. Choose up to 2 cards from your drop and call them to rear guard. They get 5,000 power into the end of a turn for each normal order with a different card name in your bind zone. At the end of the turn, retire them. Divine Skill. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, Soul Blast 1, choose a column and stand all your rear guards that are in that column. At the end of the turn, retire them. So, it's basically a graveyard effect. Like, that you're resurrecting your units for that one time only kind of thing. And it's not a bad thing, but you guys know me before, and I'll be honest with you. Me with Alchemagic is a little tricky, because that's the only mechanic I have a fucking hard time doing. But I thought, because I read all the order cards properly, I figured the chain, I'm starting to understand the chain better with it. So I'm figuring this might be a better build than I normally do with Zorga Mask. Excuse me, everybody. I don't know why I'm slurring my words all of a sudden. I'm not even drunk. And of course, let's not forget, we have the Fated One sleeves, because he is a Fated One deck. Now, for the grade 0 lineup, sorry guys, I'm trying to speak as carefully as I can with this. Okay, so the triggered lineup for me, you guys should not be very surprised with this right now, because it's a hit or miss. This is my personal choice only, player's preference. Now, and I will agree with some of you, this is meant to be a certain build, but just hear me out. And that's all I gotta ask, just hear me out. So, for heals, of course, we're going with the old school Elegy Pixy, because it is the card that Masanori used in the Season 1 of Vanguard Overdress. Why not use it again? And this card's also good for Flagberg or anything else for that matter, just a new thing. We're also using 8 criticals in this deck, and I chose Abyss Temptation because this is still also a ground blue kind of themed deck to me, so why not make it more underwatery themed? Also, I know Masanori's new triggers are like the Elf and the Pepper. We don't use those. We don't claim them. We only use those for Lavidras, Gramphia, or anything else better than Zorga. I'm sorry. And of course, we have Aspiring Maiden Alana for our last critical triggers. 3 copies of Frenzied Heiress, which, you know, this is my... I feel like front triggers are still a good thing. You can argue with me that draw triggers are greater because, you know, draws are draws, and the more cards you have in your hand, the better chances, but I have a problem with draw triggers because I sometimes easily deck out a lot of times, and I just want to have front triggers because I tend to have a full front row anyways, so I figured why not just use the front triggers, plus the 20k shield is not a bad thing either. Also, for the over trigger is Source Dragon Deity of Blessings Blessfavor, so I figure why not just keep that all in the same build. So the trigger lineup for Zorga in general is not going to change in the slightest. Unless we get some new Zorga support new heal triggers that are more aquatic themed, I guess. I mean, you can always go for aquatic units if you really wanted to, but I chose that for, you know, for the theme. And of course we have the Dragon Shield sleeves in the shade Emerald or Forest Green. I think it's Jade, sorry, in Jade. Because I can't find the olive green color that I usually have Zorga paired up with. that is the grade 0 lineup. Now, for the grade 1s, I'm actually playing 11 grade 1s in this deck, and this is all a new thing. And I know you're all going to be saying in the comments about, like, where are some certain units. Just hear me out. This is kind of like a debut for a debutante. So, I'm playing 4 copies of Fairy of Condolences, Trudeliese, or Trudy. This is the boosting partner to Zorga anyways. During the battle this unit boosted, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Zorga in its card name, and this unit gets 5k power, okay? When this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Zorga in its card name, this unit gets 2,000 power, so it's a 7k booster, making it 15k for the Vanguard until the end of that battle. If your bind zone has 2 or more normal orders with different card names, choose one of your rear guards and it gets 10,000 power until the end of the turn. At the end of that turn, retire it. So that chosen unit has to go back to the graveyard. So that's why I'm playing 4 ofs, just because it's a, let me see right here. So it's a personal choice. I play a full playset of Zorga support as much as possible, especially the new ones. So trying to find a little mix and match with this one. The next one we have here is 3 copies of Sea Scissors of Deep Hades. It's a 1-turn only card, but here's a skill. If you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Zorga in its card name, which we do, retire 2 other rear guards. Choose a normal order from your drop and put it into your hand. So this card's main objective is that you get more units in the graveyard in order for one, I'm speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh terms here, a spell card back from the grave, so to speak. But it's an order card. So don't ask me why I'm speaking Yu-Gi-Oh language right now, because I've always been playing Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit too, so my bad. And then for the last grade 1s, I just chose the complete guards that Masanori started with in Season 1, is Planar, Prevent, Dragon. So, 4 of those. And that's it for grade 1s. I know you're all going to be saying, like, where's Philander? Don't worry, he's coming. It's just, I gotta find the right recipe. This is, to me, a debut deck for the Fated One of Taboo. That's why I'm doing this. So that's the grade 1s. Now for grade 2 is a little bit more. So I'm playing 4 copies of Abomination of Impending Karma, which is the one card I have a hard time getting, because set 2 was never nice to me. When this unit is placed on rearguard, Energy Blast 4 and bind a normal order from drop. And this unit gets 5,000 power until the end of the turn for each normal order with a different card name in your bind zone. Drop zone. At the beginning of your battle phase, if your Vanguard is Zorga and it has Divine Skill, which it does, and you did Alchemagic this turn, you may call this card to rear guard. If you call this card and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, which I know it will be, this unit gets +1 critical until the end of turn. So I play 4 of these guys, because unlike Odium and the other ones, we actually build up our energies so we can use them the best way we know how. And since I'm still currently learning how to use Zorga properly, and I can ask for help in the audience to, help me a little bit, and then I'll take everyone's consideration. I figured this card is a very awesome one and pairs up with Zorga perfectly. It's just you gotta be careful of the amount of orders you use. I don't know. And then for our last normal unit, we have 4 copies of Shadowcat, or Shadowcloak. I call it Shadowcat because it's a Shadowcat. Next, we have 1 copy of Command of Death's Restraint from the Set 13 collection. I thought this would be a good option to use. And then we also have my personal favorites, the one I've been using a lot of times. I wish I could play a playset of this shit. Gather Upon Me, Ye Wandering Souls. And it's a very old classical card, but I figured, you know what, it's a lot of fun. So, this is why my grade 2 looks like, you guys. Just another nice little option. Although, I do want to add more orders to this deck, but it's just difficult. I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit difficult. Alright, so now for grade 3s, and this one has more order cards. So we're playing 3 more copies of Zorga, because obviously personification, persona writability. We are playing 4 copies of Roaming Prison Dragon, because I still love this card so much. Due to the fact that when you play Alchemagic, or when you play a normal order this turn, it gets recalled from the graveyard, and it gets 10,000 power extra and +1 critical as well. So I figured he's a good little standby for a grade 3 partner. And next we also have 2 copies of Clouded Miasma. I rarely ever use this card, but it says, Counterblast 1, choose a grade 3 or less card from your drop and call the rear guard. If this is part of Alchemagic, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets its skill. All your front row units get plus 5,000 power and in a turn. So I figured I'd play 2 of them, just, a nice little idea. 2 copies of Fills the Skies O Brand of Corpses. Play as if I have a Vanguard and it has Divine Skill. Choose one of your Vanguards and it gets this continuous skill. All your rear guards placed from drop gets 5,000 power and in a turn. So that's 2 of those. And then 2 copies of Clutch of Grudge Toxin. Play this if my Vanguard is Zorga and has Divine Skill. Choose one of your Vanguards and it gets this new skill. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, retire the rear guard. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it. And this unit gets 10,000 power and to the end of that battle and to the end of the turn. So I figured this is a nice little build up as well. Somewhat of an idea, but I might go try to do like one of each. But the idea is to get more outer cards in order to do Alchemagic. So that's kind of what I'm trying to stuck with. But I hope this is a good idea for most people. If not, I'm always open for comments down below. But that is finally the debut of Fated 1 of Taboo, Zorga Nadir. And it took me a long time to finally get this deck up and running because it took me a while to gather upon all the cards from mainly Zorga and the other pieces that I was missing. But it was a fun build. I actually enjoy playing it. Well, testing it out more. But yeah, as always guys, there'll be the full deck list in the box down below. And if you guys like the content I do create on my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Show some love and leave a comment down below. Thumbs up for this channel. Just let me know what you guys think about this. It needs to be changed up or have better ideas. Send me a deck recipe and show me what you can do with this because I'm still learning for shit. So, anyways, you guys, this has been real fun and it's been a real pleasure finally get Zorga up and running again, and it feels great just getting them there. Anyways, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I've been your host, Siren Frost, signing out.